Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the 50 top headlines from across the world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. Now, in our top stories, the International Criminal Court's prosecutor is seeking arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his defense chief Yoav Gallant, and 3 Hamas leaders. This over alleged war crimes. The 3 Hamas leaders include Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Deif, and Ismail Haniyeh. The ICC's prosecutor accused the 5 men of committing crimes against humanity. Netanyahu has denounced the move, calling it outrageous. Now, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has announced 5 days of mourning following the death of the country's president Ebrahim Raisi. On Sunday, Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash. Khamenei said he offered his condolences to the people of Iran. Meanwhile, reports say that elections will be held on the 28th of June to choose a new president. Australia and New Zealand have begun evacuating their nationals from New Caledonia. Government planes arrived in the French Pacific Island territory this morning to airlift the citizens of Australia and New Zealand. The evacuation comes amid a week of deadly riots in New Caledonia. The violence erupted last week after France tried to change voting laws in the territory. In the UK, an inquiry has accused authorities of hiding a massive blood scandal for decades. Officials have been accused of knowingly exposing patients to contaminated blood. More than 30,000 people were infected with viruses such as HIV and hepatitis because of the contamination. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak apologized for the failure of successive governments, calling it a decades-long moral failure. Now, Luis Abinader, the president-elect of the Dominican Republic, will propose fiscal reforms for the country. Abinader has said that the reform would include tweaks to taxation and public spending. He said that the changes would aim to protect the nation's most vulnerable sections. Now, Abinader's remarks came just a day after being re-elected for a second term. Now for updates from India's parliamentary elections. More than 53 million people voted across 6 states and 2 union territories yesterday. Phase 5 of the polls saw a voter turnout of 60%. This was slightly less than the 62.4% turnout seen in 2019 parliamentary elections. Meanwhile, in Jammu and Kashmir, Baramullah's voter turnout stood at 56.73%. This was the highest polling percentage in the constituency since 1984. 40 years ago, Baramulla had recorded a voter turnout of 61%. Jammu and Kashmir is voting for the first time since its special status was revoked in 2019. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has praised the higher voter turnout in Baramulla. Now, in a post on the social media platform X, the Prime Minister hailed the citizens' quote-unquote commitment to democratic values. In the state of Odisha, about 1,100 villages in the Balangir district boycotted the election. 2 villages in the district refused to vote over delays in development work. They were demanding the construction of a school and a hospital. Clashes between the Bharatiya Janata Party workers and the All India Trinamool Congress workers were reported yesterday. This was while polls were underway in the state of West Bengal. BJP leader Arjun Singh alleged that TMC workers were not letting people come out of their houses to cast their votes. Meanwhile, the TMC candidate accused BJP supporters of voter intimidation. 1 person was shot dead and 2 were severely injured in post-poll violence in the state of Bihar. Clashes erupted between BJP workers and Rashtriya Janata Dal workers this morning in Chhapra city. 2 people have been detained in connection with the violence. The internet has been suspended in Chhapra for 2 days. In Nashik City, in the state of Maharashtra, a case has been registered against an independent candidate. He is accused of violating the election's model code of conduct. The candidate garlanded a voting enclosure before casting his ballot, which is a violation of the code. Now, a photo of Mallikarjun Kharge, the chief of the Indian National Congress Party, was defaced in Kolkata. Ink was smeared on his photo, which adorned banners outside the West Bengal Congress office. Now, the party said it took serious note of what it called grave anti-party activities by a few of its workers and office bearers. Now, the party has directed its unit in the state to submit a factual report regarding the incident. Now, one of India's domestic law enforcement agencies, the Enforcement Directorate, has accused the Aadmi party of violating foreign exchange norms. The ED said that the party received foreign funding amounting to 7.08 crore rupees or $850,000 between 2014 and 2022. This funding allegedly came from countries including the US, Canada, Australia, the UAE and Oman. The Enforcement Directorate says that the AAP concealed the real identities of the donors, and this was allegedly to circumvent restrictions on foreign donations to political parties. Meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate has opposed an interim bail plea by Hemant Soren, the former Chief Minister of the state of Jharkhand. Now, Soren had requested interim bail to campaign in the ongoing elections. However, the agency quashed his plea, accusing him of attempting to thwart an investigation against him. Soren is currently under investigation for money laundering in an alleged land scam. In climate news now, severe heatwave conditions are expected to persist in northern India for the next 5 days. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for the states of Punjab and Haryana and the territories of Chandigarh and Delhi. The alert comes after Delhi's temperature soared to 47.4 degrees Celsius yesterday. Delhi's government has ordered immediate school closures for summer vacations. Now, authorities in Pakistan have urged people to stay indoors due to an extreme heat wave. Punjab, Pakistan's most populous province, is shutting all schools for a week. This is the latest climate-related disaster to impact the country in recent years. Last month, heavy rains killed scores of people and destroyed several properties and farmlands in Pakistan. The Amazon rainforest in Brazil has seen its largest wildfires on record in just the first 4 months of this year. An environmental workers' union in the country has blamed this on lower government spending on firefighting efforts. So far, over 12,000 square kilometers of the Amazon forest has burned between January and April. A severe hailstorm struck the Polish city of Gniezno yesterday, and the violent storm caused widespread flooding. Visuals from the city show people wading through flooded streets while hailstones floated by. Weather officials say that more storms are expected in Poland's west and southeast. Now, a new report questioned the effectiveness of climate plans of major oil companies. It analyzed the climate plans of 8 major US and European oil and gas firms. These include ExxonMobil, Equinor, and Chevron. It found that none of their plans align with the goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees. Now on to business and tech news now. Microsoft has unveiled a new category of personal computers called Copilot Plus. These computers come with several artificial intelligence features. Microsoft claims that Copilot Plus is its most intelligent Windows computer. The computer has the ability to translate audio from over 40 languages into English in real time. Microsoft has partnered up with computer manufacturers like Dell, Lenovo, and HP to launch these computers. Now, Apple has launched another discount campaign in China. The firm is offering over $300 in discounts on select iPhone models. The discount is being offered on Chinese e-commerce site Tmall, and this comes as Apple faces tough competition in China from domestic rivals like Huawei. Now, Google has announced a $1.1 billion investment plan in Finland. The investment will be used to expand Google's data center campus in the country. The firm is expected to hire up to 500 new workers in Finland. The move aims to push Google's artificial intelligence business in Europe. Belgium's chip research firm IMEC has received a $2.7 billion grant from the European Union. The grant will help the research firm to develop and test the next generation of computer chips. It is a part of the EU's incentive policy for the chip sector, which was announced last year. As a part of the grant, IMEC will provide European chip firms access to its advanced manufacturing technology. The U.S. stock market index, the Nasdaq Composite, hit a record high yesterday. Nasdaq rose by over 0.5% to touch the 16,700 mark for the first time. The shares of chip firms like Nvidia and Micron Technology helped to drive the market index. Nvidia's share price surged ahead of its quarterly earnings reports. A U.S. Senate probe has found that automakers BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover and Volkswagen bought car parts from a banned Chinese supplier. These automakers use parts manufactured by China's Sichuan Zhenghuida Technology Group in their cars. Now, the Sichuan Zhenghuida has been banned in the US for allegedly using forced labor. The U.S. auto safety regulator has opened a probe against Vietnam's electric car maker VinFast. It is related to a crash that killed 4 people last month. Back then, police said the driver likely lost control of the car and collided with a large tree. However, now the auto regulator has received a complaint. It claims that the car's steering may have had an issue which led to the accident. And American retail chain Target has said that it will reduce the prices of at least 5,000 products. These products range from food items like milk, meat, and bread to diapers and paper towels. The move aims to attract more customers to Target stores. This comes amid lower consumer spending amid high inflation. A European pharma giant AstraZeneca plans to build a $1.5 billion manufacturing facility in Singapore. The facility will produce a category of cancer-killing drugs called antibody-drug conjugates. AstraZeneca's plan is supported by Singapore government's Economic Development Board. The pharma giant aims to open the facility by 2029. Australia's telecom firm Telstra is laying off over 2,800 employees by the end of this year. It is about 9% of the firm's total workforce. Now, Telstra's CEO says that the majority of job cuts will in the enterprise business unit, and the unit offers products like cloud technologies, devices, and networks. Moving on to sports news now, we start with cricket and the Indian Premier League. The Kolkata Knight Riders will face Sunrisers Hyderabad today in the season's first playoff match. Kolkata and Hyderabad are the top 2 teams in the points table after the group stage. The match will take place at the Narendra Modi Stadium in the city of Ahmedabad. Security has been beefed up at the match venue after 4 suspected terrorists were arrested at Ahmedabad airport yesterday. Now, Australia have added explosive battered Jake Fraser McGurk to their travelling reserve for the T20 World Cup. The 22-year-old has been in red-hot form for the Delhi Capitals in the ongoing IPL tournament. He has amassed a total of 330 runs in 9 appearances. McGurk will act as a potential injury cover for the team during the World Cup. Former Indian captain MS Dhoni was spotted taking a bike ride through the streets of his hometown, Ranchi. Dhoni returned home the day after the Chennai Super Kings were eliminated from the IPL. The videos of him riding had gone viral on social media. And in football news, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has suggested that he will stay in the club for the next season. The 31-year-old was rumoured to be eyeing a move to the Saudi Pro League. Salah's contract with the English Premier League club ends in the summer of 2025. In an online post, Salah said that he would do everything possible to win trophies for Liverpool next season. Meanwhile, Liverpool have appointed Arne Slot as its new manager. He will replace the departing coach Jurgen Klopp next season. Slot will formally take up his duties from the 1st of June. The 41-year-old had led the football club Feyenoord to the Dutch title last year and also won the Dutch Cup this season. And Argentina have announced their provisional squad for the Copa America tournament. Lionel Messi will lead the defending champions at Copa America. The squad also features World Cup winners Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez. However, Paulo Dybala has been omitted from the provisional list. And England captain Harry Kane has secured his maiden European golden shoe. The Bayern Munich forward has scored a total of 36 goals this season. He is only the second player from England to win the award. The European Golden Shoe is given annually to the top goal scorer across Europe's football leagues. In tennis news, in women's tennis tour, in the WTA has announced a multi-year partnership with Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund called the Public Investment Fund, or the PIF. The PIF will be the first naming partner of the WTA's rankings. Additionally, the WTA finals will be held in Riyadh from 2024 to 2026, with record prize money on offer. The move represents a significant shift for the women's tour, which has previously hesitated to engage with Saudi partnerships. Tennis ace Rafael Nadal got a hero's welcome on his French Open return. The crowds chanted Nadal's name as he made his way onto the court for a training session. Nadal greeted his fans with his iconic smile and waved at them. He has won the French Open a whopping 14 times in his career. And in athletics, India's 4x400 mixed relay team has shattered the national record. They were participating in the Asian Relay Championship in 2024 in Bangkok. The quartet of Mohammad Ajmal, Jyotika Sridandi, Amar Jacob and Shubha Venkatesan clocked a time of 3 minutes and 14.12 seconds to bag a gold at the competition. And in entertainment news now, the Japanese production house studio Ghibli was awarded the prestigious Palme d'Or of this year's Cannes Film Festival. This marks the first time in the festival's 77-year history that a group has been given the award. Goro Miyazaki, the son of Studio Ghibli's co-founder Hayao Miyazaki, received the award. The Apprentice, a biopic on former U.S. President Donald Trump, has received massive accolades at the Cannes Film Festival this year. It earned an 8-minute standing ovation during its premiere. The movie has been directed by Iranian-Danish filmmaker Ali Abbasi and stars Sebastian Stan as Trump. Meanwhile, ahead of the premiere of The Apprentice, at Cannes, a camera operator was seen donning a blonde wig and face makeup to impersonate Donald Trump. He also wore Trump's signature baseball cap. However, the slogan on the cap was tweaked to read, and I quote, "Make America Gag Again." Actor Ryan Reynolds said that he was surprised that Disney allowed the R rating on his upcoming movie Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's because he had expected significant pushback from the company. The film will be Marvel's first R-rated movie. An R rating means that people under 17 will not be allowed to watch the movie without parental supervision. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, will get a special theatrical release. DC Studios and Fathom Events are partnering to release the movie in the US theaters this September. Plans for the film's international rollout are yet to be announced. Now, the trailer for Dakota Johnson's upcoming movie, Am I OK?, has been released. Now, the movie is set to launch on Max streaming service on the 6th of June. In the movie, Johnson's character will be seen exploring a lesbian relationship and figuring out her sexual orientation. And it is the beginning of the end of American drama series Yellowstone. Now, the production has begun on the second half of its 5th season. The second half will consist of 6 final episodes, and it is slated to debut in November of this year. Courtney Cox shared her bond with her late Friends co-star Matthew Perry. Now, Cox said in an interview that she has retained a connection with Perry's spirit. She said, and I quote, "He visits me a lot, if we believe that." And Jennifer Lopez attended a premiere for her upcoming movie Atlas. The actress-singer was seen walking the red carpet solo. This comes amid reports of marriage tensions with spouse Ben Affleck. Affleck and Lopez married in 2022, but reports say that they are currently living separately in Los Angeles. And actor Scarlett Johansson has accused ChatGPT maker OpenAI of using her voice without her consent. She said that one of the AI voices used by the firm sounds eerily similar to her own. The actor said the firm had earlier asked her to lend her voice to the system. However, she had declined the offer. Johansson has sent 2 legal notices to the firm over the latest issue. And that's all on today's episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.